Ay, wow. Social, kuya. Guys, look at me. I look so tropical. This is so nice. Hey, guys. My name is Beach Kurt. I like to travel to different beaches in the Philippines, trying out different hats. Joke lang, guys. Biro lang. I'm here in beautiful Agoo. Dati kong di bahay. How would you say in Tagalog, this used to be my home? Dati nakatira ako dito, yun lang. Dati nanirahan ako dito. Ang hirap ng Tagalog, guys. So I'm here in Agoo. And my first day here, I did a little jog down to the beach. And I came across a nice little family that was hanging out right here at about 6 a.m., drinking some coffee, enjoying the vibes, good vibes here. And we got to chatting. They actually follow me, and they said that they work here at this little cafe right across the street. So we're going to go over there, and we're going to check out what they have. Their specialty is coffee. As you guys know, I don't drink coffee a lot. I don't really like the taste of coffee, but I'll try it, you know? Bakit hindi? It's what is life worth living? Fun little piece of information, guys. This is my new hat that I got. I feel very festive wearing it. This road, when I lived here in Agoo in 2002, this road did not exist. This was not here. And this is like some deep construction. That's deep concrete. And on top of that, none of these boulders were here. This was literally all just straight dirt road and then beach. That's it. And all of these, I forget what these are called. I think are they nipa huts? I don't think they're called nipa huts. They're called something. Anyway, none of this existed. And they did such a great job of building up Agoo infrastructure, because when I lived here, it would flood all the time. We'd have to, as missionaries, we'd have to roll up our pants like up to our ankles, our slacks, and wear chanelas, because the water was like up to our calves or up to our knees sometime, or at least ankle deep. And it was just everywhere. And now, in all the traveling that I've done around Agoo, I see they have this amazing drainage system, like a sewer system everywhere. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, they fixed all the flooding problems. But anyway, guys, that's neither here nor there. Let's go check out AE Cafe and Bistro. This is what we're looking at, guys. Look how pretty this is. And they have a top part too, AE Cafe and Bistro. Hindi ko alam yung ibig sabihin ng AE, but we're gonna ask, guys. So we come in here. They've got the pasukan. It's very nice, chill area. They have an upstairs as well. And when you come in, sobrang tahimik dito, guys. Ayaw kong magpala. Ayaw kong magpala sa mga ibang suki nila, kaya tahimik na lang tayo, guys. Okay, guys, let's take a look at the menu. And they have an upstairs too, so we might go venture upstairs. So it's very quiet and very peaceful, and I don't want to bother other customers, so we're going to be nice and quiet. So here they got just basically, you know, Americano, latte. What do you guys drink when you drink coffee? I'm so new to it. Definitely going to have to do iced because it's a hot day outside, even though I have noticed it's like a full, I want to say like maybe like 4 to 5 degrees cooler here in Celsius. So like maybe like what, 10 or 11 degrees? 10 or 11 degrees, is that right? Basta, it's cooler here in Agoo temperature wise, and I'm not sweating as much. It's really nice. Ooh, they have, guys, they have lemonades, they have alcoholic drinks. We should not touch that. Wag niyo kong isisumbong kay nanay. They have milk stuff, they have drink menus. So let's order some food, guys, and maybe we can go upstairs and overlook the beach, and I'll tell you guys about what a story from my time in the Marine Corps that I got reminded of this morning that you guys are gonna think is, well, some of you might think it's funny, some of you might think it's like abusive, but it's pretty funny. Oh, they have frappes too, oh my gosh. Wow, this looks so good. So I might try it, you guys, you knows me, I've got a sweet tooth. And then they've got, look at this, potato fries, curly fries, ooh. Carbonara. Oh my gosh, they have tons of food. Waffles, Pinoy classics. They've got sisig bagnet. Guys, I thought this was just a coffee shop. Hindi pala. All day breakfast? Are you freaking kidding me? They have chicken and waffles? Chicken and waffles, Phil Brecky. Oh my gosh, I should have done breakfast here, guys. Look at this. They have chicken wings too. Guys, they have everything here. What a great location. And they open at 2 o'clock, so I wonder who most of their customers are What a cool little spot. Ate, sa mga starters nyo, ano ba yung pinakamabenta?
Potato fries.
Potato fries? Pwedeng yung potato fries sa akin at saka yung strawberry frappe. Masarap yung strawberry frappe. Di ba kailangan yung yan sabihin kasi dito ka nagtatrabaho? Di ba? Sabi niya, oo. At pwede kong rin sabukan yung garlic parmesan wings.
Yes.
Okay naman yun? Oh, sige, yun lang sa akin. Okay guys, let's go check out the upstairs. Oh, here we go. It's just right here. I just left my camera and my bag with my money and my passport, everything on the table, so. Ay, wow! Social, kuya! Grabe, no? Guys, tignan nyo. Ang sarap dito. Guys, look at this. Wow, wow, wow. It's so crazy. None of this was here. I'm like, I mean, you can't go to any city in America and let 20 years go by and not expect change, obviously. But I guess, I don't know what I expected. I guess I thought like I'd come back to Agao. Gosh, I'm gonna get like, oh gosh, I'm gonna get emotional. I thought I could come back to Agao after 23 years and I would see a lot of the same sights and it would bring back lots of memories of my time when I lived here. And it's changed so much for the better. I mean, because look at this. This is like, none of this infrastructure was here. This is absolutely amazing. When I lived here, this was just a dirt road right here. Just a dirt road and then the beach. And then there were a couple of people that lived on or near the beach, mostly fishermen, mangangisda. But, you know, so I can't help but feel a little sad that I'm here and it's changed so much and I don't really recognize it. And I don't know, I guess I kind of feel like those memories that, because you guys know, I said in the vlog yesterday and the day before and the day before that, when you visit places that you used to live, you know, the sights and the sounds and the smells and all of that stuff kind of can help bring back memories that you haven't accessed for a while, but they're still there in your brain. So I guess a part of me is just sad that like it's changed so much and I don't really recognize a lot of the city. And so all of those memories that I have, I don't know, it kind of feels like maybe they're lost or I don't know. That was a really innocent time of my life when I was a missionary, very carefree, innocent, young time. You know, you're young and you're adventurous and life is so new and exciting and you want to try everything. And I try to keep that mentality, but like it gets harder as you get older because, you know, you accumulate experiences and, you know, I don't want to say you get bored with things, but you have to try out a lot more new things the older you get because, you know, you kind of start to pile on all the experiences. So I guess I just kind of remember my time here as being very nostalgic and like very memorable. And it was a very, very good time in my life. So it's just beautiful though, just beautiful. And if you guys are here in Agao, you absolutely have to come visit this place. So maybe we'll just sit right here. It's so pretty, so pretty. I love this. I absolutely love it. Let's go get my stuff so it doesn't end up walking away. And just look at this, just greenery on this side and then beautiful open ocean on this side. Man, this is life, guys. This is why we are alive, to experience things and to have fun. It kind of blows my mind, like the manpower and the resources required to move, I mean, hundreds of thousands of rocks. I mean, look at these rocks. None of these rocks were here, guys, when I lived here. And now it's miles and miles. And this road, this concrete road that we were just on, I was talking to someone yesterday. I was driving my scooter down the road yesterday, just, you know, trying to go back down memory lane. And I was chatting with a gentleman who lives here on the road. And they said that this road is actually, they're attempting to make, if you guys are familiar with the United States West Coast, we have the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway, which is basically a road, a highway. Guys, look at me, I look so tropical. Diba? Parang tropical Kurt ito. Anyway, on the west coast of America, we have this road that basically travels the entire length of the west coast. And it's called Highway 1 or the PCH, Pacific Coast Highway. And you can drive it pretty much all the way from San Diego, which is at the bottom part of the American border, all the way up to the top of Oregon. or Washington. I forget which state is on top of the other. So this guy told me that they're trying to build this road along the west coast of Luzon. And you can basically, when it's finished, you'll be able to drive the entire west coast of Luzon. I'm like, how exciting. I tried driving it yesterday, and I drove about 10 kilometers, and then there was a break in the road where, I don't know what it's called, but it's when the water, from a lake or a river meets the ocean. Is that called an estuary? Estuary? I'm not sure. But anyway, the road stopped, and they were constructing that part of it, but they had already finished the road on the other side, so there's only like a 40-foot break in the road. But he said it's supposed to be done here in the next couple of years, and I thought how exciting that would be. Just get on a motorcycle or in a car, roll the windows down, let the wind run through your hair, and just drive along this beautiful, beautiful coastline. Why am I so freaking out? I'm about to cry. Like, why am I so emotional? Gosh. It's weird, guys. I think I'm emotional because when I lived here, I'm gonna roll my pants up and be very beach-like. When I lived here in Agoo back in 2002, so I started my mission in Abra in 2001, September of 2001. I got to Abra in September of 2001, just a few days before 9/11 happened, which that was a interesting experience when I was up in Benguet. We had to go radio silent. Our mission president. So the way that Mormon missions work, guys, is you're a young 19-year-old kid, or 18. You just graduate from high school, and about 6 months before you turn 19, this was back 20 years ago. Today it's 18. So you send in a submission. You submit a packet, basically, a packet to go on a mission, to be a missionary. And you have to take a whole bunch of health tests and a physical exam, and that's basically it. And then you get interviewed by your local bishop, which is like the pastor of a congregation. So it's kind of a rigmarole, which is a fun English word to describe like just having to go through a process. But once you submit your packet to church headquarters, they decide where you're going to go. And of course, I was told to go to the Philippines. The missions, as they're called, I think back when I went on my mission, I think there was something like 132 different missions. Like we had the Baguio mission, which was basically the entire northwest side of Luzon. Then there was the Manila mission. There's the Moscow mission. There's the Paris, France mission. There's missions all over the world. Like basically the entire world is divided up into missions. So I got called to serve in the Baguio mission. And the person who is in charge of the mission is called the mission president. And mission presidents are members of the church, the Mormon church, that are basically retired. So they're usually in their 50s, their 60s, or their 70s. And it's always a married couple. And they go through the same process when a couple, like when a pair of Mormons, a married couple, when they're retired and they want to go on a mission, they can submit a packet to the church just like I did, and same kind of rigmarole, and they get called to basically be the leader of a mission somewhere in the world for 3 years. And they don't get paid, we don't get paid, nobody gets paid. It's all voluntary. So my mission president was a guy named President Bowen, and him and his wife were from Idaho in America. And he had his own small petroleum company, I think, called Bowen Petroleum. So I think he was a pretty wealthy guy, which, I mean, you kind of have to be a mission president because you're not working for like 3 straight years. So anyway, they come over here and they get trained by the existing president and mission president for like, I think, a couple of weeks. And then the old mission president leaves and the new mission president is in charge of the mission, and it's their responsibility. So long story short, when I arrived in Abra as a brand new missionary, I'm sleep deprived, the time changed, the jet lag was killing me. And like 3 days of being in Abra, we got a phone call. We had one landline in our apartment that I shared with 3 other missionaries. There was 4 of us total in the house. And it was just the mission president telling my companion to not leave the apartment for 5 days. And so basically a week. He said, don't leave the apartment for 5 days. There's been an attack on America. We don't know what the situation is. We don't know if it was terrorism. We don't know. But just to be safe, don't leave the house for 5 days. And so we didn't leave the house for 5 days. And members of the congregation up in Benguet, they were super awesome. They would bring us food, and they would come visit us because we didn't have a TV. We didn't have radios. We didn't know what the F was going on. We didn't have cell phones. So they let us know all that happened on 9/11. And if you guys weren't in America when 9/11 happened, there was something very special that kind of happened in American culture. And I didn't experience this because I was here in the Philippines, but this is what people tell me. But they say when 9/11 happened, the whole country of America kind of just came together, and like this tragic, gosh. I'm going to get emotional because I lost friends in the Marine Corps, because 9/11 happened. That was the whole catalyst to why, me and my friends got sent overseas to fight a war. So if I talk about 9/11, I kind of get emotional because I think of my buddies. Anyway, so I was told that in America, everybody just kind of came together, and there was just a big outpouring of like patriotism in America. And I missed out on that whole thing because it kind of died down by the time I got home. But from the way that people explained it to me, it was just a time where everybody kind of came together, and your politics didn't matter, what side of the aisle, left or right, conservative, liberal, Democrat, whatever, it didn't matter. Everybody was American. And I can only imagine, like, America is a very interesting country because we were born out of a need for individualism. Like, we didn't want to be a part of Britain anymore, and we wanted to plan our own destiny and make our own path. And that kind of concept, that individualism, it's very woven deep into our DNA as Americans. And that's why Americans, we don't often ask for help from people. Like, that's just, it's not something we do. You hear it all the time in phrases like pick yourself up by your own bootstraps, pioneer spirit. Those are all things that kind of come out of the American experience. So I kind of missed that whole time of being in America when everybody kind of came together, and it didn't matter who you were, what your background was. Everybody was from the same country. And that's one of the reasons I love the Philippines so much, is because there was a really cool quote by Vice Ganda when I was a guest on, I was in the audience of It's Showtime. So Vice Ganda said something really interesting when they had a guest on who was a little darker skinned, morena, and they were talking about that. And, after they were making points back and forth about why skin color is not important and why whatever your natural skin color is beautiful. Oh, gosh, why am I so emotional today? So on this episode of It's Showtime, Vice Ganda said, "Iba't iba ang aming itsura, hugis, kulay, kilos, at ano paman. Pero lahat kami Filipino." And that kind of mentality is something that we don't get very much anymore in America, where it doesn't matter who you are, what the color of your skin is, the shape of your bodies, how you act. We don't have that binding element anymore, that we're all Americans. You hear people talk about it, trying to maintain it, but like it doesn't feel like that anymore in America. And so that's why I say when I was gone, I was outside of America when 9/11 happened, and there was this outpouring of patriotism. I feel like I missed out on all of that. And I get a sense of it here in the Philippines, because that's one thing that Filipinos have that we'll never have again, I don't think, in America, where it doesn't matter who you are, your color, your shape, how you act, or whatever, you're Filipino. And that's such a beautiful, beautiful statement. And I wish we had something like that in America, but it kind of feels like that's a mentality that we lost. So it's just an emotional time for me, guys. Being here in Agoo, it's bringing up a time in my life that I really care about. I deeply remember fondly. And seeing the change here in Agoo just kind of makes me realize that, you know, I'm getting older. Time moves on. Wow. Mukhang masarap.
Yes po.
Thank you po. Guys, look at this. Wow. Oh, look at that. They have... this is so nice. So we got the Parmesan wings. We got the French fries. That's good. And we got the strawberry frappe, which I'm excited to try. This is a great, great location, guys. I'm so glad that like they said hello to me when I came down here on the beach, because I probably wouldn't have come here otherwise, because I'm not a big coffee drinker, as you guys know. And they said, no, come over and try all of our stuff. We have coffee, we have snacks, we have food. I'm so glad I did, because this is just so beautiful. I'm so glad. Okay, guys, let's try this. AE Coffee House at Ibapa. AE Cafe at Bistro La Union. Oh, that's good. You guys know that trick? You can mix the drink up by just blowing at the bottom. She said that this has coffee in it, but I don't taste very much coffee. I feel so fancy, guys. I mean, look at this. This is so nice. You guys absolutely have to come and try this place. It's very calm. I'll already tell you guys, these French fries are absolutely amazing. Very, very good. And look at how quaint the ketchup is. I think that I'm a little bit more emotional on this vlog because I'm out here looking over this beach that I used to look at 23 years ago and seeing that it's so different. You know, it's just getting older is tough, you guys. Like sometimes I look in the mirror and I realize I'm 43 years old and I'm like, where did the time go? Like what happened to 22-year-old Kurt? Because in my mind, I know a lot of us feel like this. In our heads, we still feel like we're that same 22, 25, 28-year-old. And we're just older now. Times change. Seasons, they come and go. And all you can really do is enjoy the ride. This is the perfect snack. And I'm really excited to try these wings. Chicken wings here in the Philippines are different than in America. I think maybe it's because you guys have better chickens here. I don't know. Oh, this is so good. Excuse me, guys, while I stuff my face with fries. My companion and I, every couple of weeks, we would come down to this beach. We'd take a trike. It's about 3.5 kilometers from the town to here. So if we didn't have anything planned or scheduled, we would come down here, hit up a Sari Sari store right before we got here with some drinks, like a Pepsi or a Coca-Cola in a bag. And we just sit on the sand and just watch the sun go down. It was so beautiful and like spiritual. And we would just think about life. So I think that's probably why also I'm getting a little emotional, because I was literally, it's so interesting to think that like I was literally in this exact spot 20 something years ago. Makes you kind of realize how delicate and fast time is. And don't get me started on like the science of time, how time is relative and it's not constant for everyone. And it's different depending on how fast you're moving through space. Oh, I was going to tell you guys about my Marine Corps experience that I got reminded of. So this morning I went out for a jog. Just everything was aching. My knees were aching, my back hurt, my calf was hurting because my running shoes, I think I've got a bad pair of running shoes. So every time I go running, my calf feels sprained. And it reminded me of a time when I was in the Marine Corps, infantry training, as a matter of fact, in the Marine Corps. And during infantry training, I broke the metatarsal in my left foot. So I was in crutches in infantry training. I got, you know, in Marine infantry training, you go there after boot camp if you're in the infantry. And you go through about 3 months of training. And new recruits new Marines arrive every week coming from boot camp. So there's always a fresh batch of Marines coming through infantry training. 1 week before graduation, we finished a 25-kilometer hike, and while we were resting afterwards, everyone had their boots off to let your feet breathe, the Marine next to me tipped over his rifle that has a grenade launcher attached to it, so it's pretty heavy, and the iron sights at the end of the rifle, the thing that you use to aim, hit me right on the foot, and it broke my metatarsal, my third metatarsal. And so I got dropped, is what we call it. I got dropped to basically the medical platoon. And if you get broke or hurt in infantry training, that's where you go until you're better. So I was in crutches and a boot, and the platoon that I was assigned to was graduating, and everybody was moving on to wherever they were going to get stationed in the Marine Corps. And I had borrowed a canteen, you know, the things that we drink out of, from one of my friends. And so I had to go give it back to him, because we, you know, part of the process of getting out of infantry training is turning in all your gear and, you know, all that stuff. Basically administration work. So I hobbled my broken ass over to the barracks where these guys lived on Camp Pendleton. It was probably like a 15-minute walk for me. 15-minute walk on crutches, mind you. And I had the canteen in my cargo pocket, and I go up to the squad bay. In the Marine Corps, we have these giant, you know, giant rooms with like 30 or 40 bunk beds. So 2 people to a bunk bed. And at the very entrance, the very beginning, where you walk in to enter the squad bay, a bunch of my friends were there, including the one that I had borrowed the canteen from. So I hobble myself over there with the canteen. I give it to them, and we're chit-chatting. They're asking me how I am, because these are my buddies that I went through training with. And then one of the infantry trainers, so these are guys that are Marines that have been in the fleet, in the Marine Corps for several years. He was a corporal, a Hispanic corporal. I was talking to some of my buddies, and I totally understand where he came from, because he's trying to get stuff done, and I'm here basically distracting Marines. So I'm talking to my buddies, and a few feet away, I hear him yell, "Hey, broke dick!" And I look at him. That's a common phrase in the Marine Corps. Broke dick is what they call someone who's hurt. He goes, "Hey, broke dick!" And I look over, and he goes, "Do you belong here?" And I go, "No, corporal." And he goes, "Then get the fuck out." And this is how I remember things happening. I say, "Aye, aye, corporal." Aye, aye means kind of like, okay. "Aye, aye, corporal," as I start hobbling myself on my crutches, turning away. Next thing I know, there's a hand on my throat, and it's pushing me back up against a bunk bed, maybe like 4 or 5 feet. I drop my crutches because I'm trying to maintain balance. I'm in a boot. I'm like hopping on one foot, and he slams me against a bunk bed, and he gets right in my face. And minus the cuss words, he had a lot of cuss words. He said, "Don't you ever roll your GD effing mother effing eyes at me again, you mother effing boot broke dick." Something like that. Pretty intense, but like, that's how it is in the Marine Corps. And I said, "Aye, aye, corporal." And he let me go, and it was dead silent in the squad bay. I don't think I've ever told this story before to anyone. I've told it to friends. I've never told it to you guys. So this is the first time you guys are hearing it. And anyway, so he choked me and slammed me up against a bunk bed. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I didn't think anything of it, because being in the Marine Corps infantry that's kind of how life is. It was rough and tough. If you mess up, you get smacked upside the head. Like, that's just how the military was back then. I joined the Marine Corps at a time where they were trying to phase out that like added brutality during training to make it more, you know, basically PC friendly. So anyway, I left, and I didn't think anything of it, and I went back to the medical platoon, and a couple of days later, I got called in to the battalion commander's office. Battalion commander is the guy who's in charge of the entire school of infantry with thousands of Marines. I think he was a lieutenant colonel. So I get called into his office. I go in there, and there's the battalion commander, there's the battalion sergeant major, there's a couple of gunnery sergeants, there's a captain from JAG, the Judge Advocate General Corps. Those are the attorneys in the Marine Corps, in the military. And the corporal, I forget what his name was, like Corporal Jimenez or Corporal Lopez, I think actually it was. They're all in there, and I'm just like, what? I'm like an 18-year-old kid. this is like very intimidating. And they call me in there, and the battalion commander is, so I understand this is what happened. And right now, Corporal Lopez has something to say to you. And I was like, what? What is happening? They're on my crutches. I'm like, what is happening? And Corporal Jimenez, he's standing there in the corner at parade rest, which in the military, this is parade rest. It's like a semi-official stance. You're not standing at attention, parade rest. He's standing at parade rest, and the battalion commander tells him, say your thing. And he basically apologized to me. He says, I'm sorry for physically touching you. That he's like, I was very frustrated that day, and you just happened to be an easy release for my frustration. It wasn't targeted at you, and I apologize. I was blown away. I'm like, what the F is happening? I'm like, and part of me, to be honest, thought, why are you apologizing? Like, this is the freaking Marine Corps. We go to war and we're trained to kill people, and you're here apologizing to me because you like pushed me up against. He didn't really choke me hard. He just used my neck to like shove me against the bunk bed. So anyway, so that's what happened. And so this allegedly what Corporal Lopez thought I had done was I rolled my eyes at him, and it said like, aye, aye, Corporal, like very sarcastic, very kind of like jackassy, which like, to be honest, like that's, if somebody responded, if a lower ranking Marine responded to me like that, I probably wouldn't physically touch them. I would chew them out like crazy. I'd get my knife hand up in their face and I would chew them out and set them straight, because you don't act like that, especially to senior Marines. It's all a part about just keeping your the structure and the discipline and the integrity of the rank system in check, because during wartime, you can't question your seniors. You have to do what they say, because that saves lives. Let's try one of these. Very excited for this. So anyway, that was, I got reminded of that experience while I was out jogging, either this morning or yesterday. I can't remember. Wings here are so much better. These garlic Parmesan wings. Oh, that's really good. You guys got to come try this place. I'm not even like paid to promote them. It's just really, really good. And beautiful views. This has been a good Storytime vlog. We got stories from the mission. We got stories from the Marine Corps. We got stories from 9/11. Being in the Marine Corps, you're taught to have a pretty dark sense of humor. That's just kind of how you deal with really crappy situations, and like losing your buddies in combat or having bombs explode next to your head. We kind of just laugh at it. And it kind of comes off as like almost quasi-sadistic. And that's just how we are. We were making 9/11 jokes in the Marine Corps like months after it happened, because we knew that we were probably going to get called up to go to war. And that's how you deal with it. I mean, I should probably see a therapist. To be honest. You guys are basically my therapist. I'm able to do a lot of introspection during this vlog. I mean, this is so weird. Like, I'm just talking to nothing right now. I'm talking to a camera. There's nobody else up here with me. And that's probably one reason why I feel so comfortable. There's no one else here. I would not talk like this if there were other guests here up on the top. Guys, this whole meal is so fantastic. And other than the occasional motorcycle, it's pretty quiet. There's no jeepneys with the loud mufflers coming through. This is really, really good, guys. The skin is malutong. It's crispy. The chicken is cooked just, man. American wings don't taste like this. All right, what else should we talk about, guys? That's a lot of stories for one vlog. And you know what's interesting, guys? Like, I didn't really make this connection with vlogging until a few months ago about telling stories on the vlog. So there is a gentleman, and the only reason I know about this is because a lot of you have made comments And yes, I do go through comments as much as I can. I try to read as many. I've told you guys before, like on any given day, I can get thousands of comments. But I've read a lot of the comments. And people in person have told me, they're like, we love listening to your vlog, not so much because of the food or like, you know, the sharing of Filipino culture or like practicing your language skills. They say they listen because I tell stories. And I thought that was very interesting because I've read comments that say the same thing. It reminds me of this older gentleman who has a YouTube channel. I can't remember the name of it. It was years ago that I saw it. But he had a certain kind of video. I think he lives on a farm somewhere in the United States and he just works on a farm. He's an older guy in his 70s and he just does farm work and like that's his vlog or his channel. And then one day he changed things up and he sat down in front of his big barn doors. He just sat down like this and just talked to the camera. Literally just talked for like 40 minutes. And that video blew up. He wasn't like a very popular vlogger before that. And after that, his channel just exploded. And so it just reminds me of the power of storytelling, because that's something that I feel like is so genuinely human, because we have this power of speech where we're able to manipulate air molecules by constricting our throat and changing the way air leaves our mouth. It's such a weird thing when you think about speech. We're literally just manipulating air to be heard by people with eardrums. But storytelling is such a powerful tool. And if you look throughout history, you'll read about a lot of dictators and a lot of charismatic leaders who got to positions of power because they were great storytellers. Because we love stories. That's why we love movies, we love books, we love stories. And for millennia, humans have been gathering around a campfire at night and someone has told stories. When we were in hunter-gatherer tribes, there was always a storyteller, someone who told stories, passed down knowledge orally from one generation to another. So it just, I like telling stories. Like you guys know, I'm a big fan of content creation and making content and being yourself, your authentic self on camera. And I think as AI starts to come into our lives, we're kind of at the very beginning of this whole wave of AI technology that's going to sweep the world in the next couple of years and really change things. I think it's really going to change things, and I hope it's for the better. But this is one thing that, you know, you won't ever get from AI. Well, at least I don't think you will. Who knows? I could be an AI avatar right now just telling a story to you guys. We don't know. Anyways, guys, so I finished my fries. I finished my frappe. Let's head down. We're gonna give Ate a nice tip because, as you guys know, simply by sitting here and watching the vlog, whether you're playing it in the background or you're going to sleep and you should be sleeping, or you're at the gym and I'm in your headphones talking, because of you guys watching the vlog, we earn money from YouTube and we get to share that money with the staff and owners of these small calendars. Because, like, to be honest, these guys are my content. They are participating, they are a part of it, and they provide me with content. And so I look at them as kind of like partners, and it feels only right to share the revenue that these videos make with them. I don't need a lot of money in life. As long as I can pay my bills and have a little bit of an emergency fund stashed away, and maybe a little bit each month put away for retirement, I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm good. I'm happy. Guys, let's take one last look. It's just so freaking beautiful. Oh my gosh. I really hope you guys, if you're in the Philippines or if you plan to come to the Philippines, come to Agao. Try it out. It's a beautiful, beautiful town. People are so nice. And come visit the AE Bistro Cafe, because it's very peaceful, very emotional. All right, down the steps we go. Don't fall. Makano po yan sa akin, ate?
Ay, pwede po. Binili namin.
Ha?
Binili namin.
Hindi. Bahala ako. Makano yan?
Okay lang po yun.
Hindi naman. Bawal yun. Kailangan magbayad. Kasi yung bayad galing sa mga follower. Kasi binabahagi ko yung support nila sa inyo. So, at pati kung gusto nilang mamasyal dito, gusto nilang alamin yung mga presyo din ninyo. Ah, ang lakas mo!
Lakas mo ano? Picture na kayo Picture na kayo.
Hala. Lululululululu, anong problema? Ako ba ang tatay niya?
Ito po. Ampay natin, ampay. 374, sir.
374? Okay, ako ang bahala sa merienda niyo mamaya. May 2,000 ako para sa inyo.
Wait lang!
Guys, ulitin natin kasi hindi ready yung camera. Sige. Ano gusto kong sabihin? Guys, take 2. Sige, thank you guys. Maraming salamat po. Ingat. Sige guys. Okay guys. Tapos na. Labas tayo. Sige guys, thank you Paalam. Okay guys. Check this out. AE Cafe and Bistro. Ang sarap, ang bait ng mga tao. And of course, you get the added view of the beach. Such a great idea, setting up a coffee shop like that on the beach. Wonderful. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this vlog. Hope you enjoy all the vlogs. I enjoy making them. Super grateful that this is my, jeez, look at this. This is my life, guys. It's just amazing. Like, I've had so many shitty jobs in my life. At 30 years old, I was scrubbing toilets in LA. At 24, I was knocking on doors trying to sell peepholes for people's front doors. I was selling software over the phone. I was a student, a Marine, a DJ in college, just so many jobs. And like, this is the only job I've ever had that I actually really love. Because I get to be myself, I get to travel, I get to eat, I get to practice language skills, I get to meet people. I just get to I just feel like I get to enjoy life to the fullest. And it's such a blessing because not many people get to do jobs that they just absolutely love. Because what did we say earlier, guys? Time goes on, seasons come and go, just enjoy the ride. You guys can put that on a t-shirt if you want. Wala akong paki dyan. Anyways guys, mag-ingat kayo hanggang sa susunod na video. Sana magsama kayo sa video na yon. Maraming salamat sa inyong suporta, sa inyong pagmamahal, sa inyong lahat ng inyong support sa itong pakikipag-sapalaran ko. I think that's how you say adventure. Pakikipag, how do you say adventure in Tagalog? Pakikipagsapalaran. Makikipagsapalaran ako, pakikipagsapalaran ito. Ewan ko lang guys. Hanggang sa susunod ako si Kuya Kurt. Beach Kuya Kurt. Tabing dagat. Dalampasigan. Kita-kits.